Hey, how's it going? And today I'm going to show you how to create a extended dialogue system in Unreal Editor for Fortnite. And it looks something like this. If you go into Fortnite and I hit start game, it's pretty awesome. This is really a great functionality that has a lot of potential. We're in the game and let's say I just have this Jonesy character and I'm walking up here and Jonesy says, "Excuse me, sir, are you willing to sell your car?" And I hit E. Says Manny the mannequin says maybe. He says, "Would you take $500? Manny the mannequin, "You know what? I will sell it for that amount because I like your style." That's awesome. Manny the mannequin, "Great. I hope you enjoy it. It was Dada Robo's car." Again, thank you. And that's it. It's really cool. And you can just keep chaining that conversation on and on and on. So to do this, we just need the pop-up dialogue device is the star of the show here. And then we have a character device. We just bring a character device in, and the main settings for here are the interact type, which we send to send event only. And then here, for clarity, we can type in the character who's talking. So you can type it in, and then if you hit Shift Enter, it'll drop you down a line. So you can type in your character's name and go, "Excuse me, sir, are you willing to sell your car?" And that's all we have to do for the character. What's great about this is kind of unlimited. This can take a lot of text. So our initial dialogue from the first person player, or from this player if you want it to be, whoever you want to start it off, can be fairly extended. And then we have our first pop-up dialog box, which is going to be triggered by our character device. So if we come down here, we want to show that pop-up device. We choose character and then on interacted with. So we're going to show this dialog box once this character is interacted with. Okay, once that E is pressed. And then under here, there's a lot of different ways you can set this up, but title is just Manny the Mannequin. And then the description is where I put in his dialogue, which is just maybe. And then I'm kind of forcing the dialogue. There's really no choices here, but there could be choices. But in this dialogue, there's no choice. It's just that the player is moving the dialogue forward by clicking the buttons, right? So the player is basically just controlling the flow of the interaction by pressing the buttons. But you could also give the player some choices in the dialogue too, which could trigger other dialogue boxes. So this could actually branch off in all different kinds of directions. So basically it's an unlimited dialogue system is really what it is. So here we don't have any timeout, but you could put a time pressure on them to respond if you check that. And then the dialogue back button is just button 1, and that just puts an escape thing. So if you just want out of the conversation, you just hit escape. That's all it does. And then so you have the description is the character's response to the first person player, and then the button response, and this is limited only to 25 characters. That would you take $500 for it, right? So that's that into the dialogue. So now we jump over to the next dialogue box, which is then going to be triggered by this first dialogue box, and it's going to be triggered when it's dismissed. So once we press the button on this one and dismiss it, the next dialog box is going to pop up. And so you can trigger these off of the buttons or on dismissed or whatever. There's different ways you can trigger it and time it. And so the conversation continues, right? Manny the mannequin centered, "You know what? I will sell it for that amount because I like your style." One button. And so again, we're forcing the dialogue, but the player's controlling it, the flow of it. And so on button 1, it just says, "That's awesome." And then when you click that button, it dismisses it. And then that's going to open up the third dialog box, which is triggered by the second dialog box, right? On dismissed, it's triggered. And then it's Manny the mannequin again. He says, "Great, I hope you enjoy it. It was Dada Robo's car." And then on the end, it just says, "Again, and thank you." And then he presses the button and he dismisses it. It says almost the same as escape, nothing happens. And that's it. But this has so much application because I didn't realize you could link these in this way. And if you're linking them this way, you could actually create a series of questions that need to be answered. You could create all different kinds of things that have to happen. You could actually fork the conversation, because then you could bring in more dialog boxes based on the button chosen, and then that would be a whole nother chain of dialogue. So it's really unlimited. It's fascinating and it's great. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Please subscribe if you did, and have a great day.